My seemingly perfect life exploded when I overheard my wife planning a secret rendezvous. Hey Reddit, so I'm Danny, 37, and until a few weeks ago I thought I had it all. Good job, beautiful wife, house in the suburbs, the whole 9 yards. My parents, God rest their souls, drilled into me the importance of family and stability. They practically worshipped Bethany. Now I'm starting to think it was all a huge lie. See, I'm an only child, and there was always this pressure to be the golden boy, the one who did everything right. Marry the right girl, have the perfect life, blah blah blah. I never felt like I could be myself, always performing for an audience that wasn't even there anymore. Then came the migraine. Stuck at home, working, I overheard Bethany on the patio. The saccharine sweetness in her voice, the giddy laughter, it was like she was a different person. And she was talking about some romantic getaway I definitely wasn't invited to. I'm starting to unravel. What the hell is going on? And then it hit me. She was talking to him, this voice I'd never heard before, this playful, intimate tone, it was for someone else. She was talking about a weekend trip, about how she couldn't wait to finally be alone together, how she needed this escape. My stomach churned. I felt like I was going to be sick. She even mentioned a specific hotel, the Lakeside Inn. I knew it. It's where Bethany and where we spent our honeymoon. The Lakeside Inn. Are you kidding me? I stumbled back inside, my head pounding even worse than before. I collapsed onto the couch, my vision blurring. This couldn't be happening. This was Bethany, my wife. We were supposed to be the success story, the perfect couple. My parents would be devastated. My first instinct was to confront her, to scream, to demand answers. But I froze. Fear, pure, unadulterated fear, gripped me. Fear of what she would say, fear of what it would mean, fear of shattering the illusion of perfection I'd so carefully constructed. I spent the rest of the day in a daze, replaying the conversation over and over in my head. Each word, each laugh was a dagger twisting in my gut. I tried to tell myself I was misinterpreting things, that it was all a misunderstanding. But deep down, I knew. I knew with a sickening certainty that my perfect life was about to implode. Okay, Reddit, buckle up. This is where things go from bad to nuclear. I tried to be reasonable. Tried the subtle approach, like an idiot. One evening, after she'd been out late at work again, I asked her how she was doing. You seem stressed, babe, I said, trying to sound concerned, not accusatory. Is everything okay? Her response. A dismissive wave of her hand. Just tired, Danny, long day. She didn't even look at me, just glued to her phone, scrolling through God knows what, probably planning her next romantic rendezvous. I tried again. We haven't connected in a while, I stammered, my face burning. I reached for her, hoping for something, anything. She flinched away. Not tonight, Danny, headache, of course, the classic excuse. My heart sank. I felt like I was drowning in my own living room. Then came the weekend. She announced she was going on a spa weekend with her girlfriends. Right, the Lakeside Inn spa weekend. I knew it, I couldn't take it anymore. I blurted out, the Lakeside Inn, really, with your girlfriends? She froze, her eyes narrowed. What's that supposed to mean, Danny? Don't play dumb, Bethany, I heard you on the patio. The romantic getaway, the escape. My voice cracked, I was shaking. She laughed, actually laughed in my face. You're being ridiculous, paranoid, it's just a girl's trip, you need to relax. Relax. My world was crumbling around me and she was telling me to relax. Who is he, Bethany? I demanded, my voice rising. There's no one, Danny, you're imagining things, you're always so stressed. Maybe you need to see someone. That's when it hit me, the gaslighting, the deflection, the utter disregard for my feelings. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a marital spat. This was toxic. My parents, with their insistence on maintaining the perfect family facade, had blinded me to the red flags. They would have told me to just work it out, to be the bigger person. But this wasn't something I could just work out. This was a gaping chasm of deceit and betrayal. I felt sick, physically ill. I stumbled back, my hands clammy, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I locked myself in the bathroom, the cold tile against my cheek. I stared at my reflection, barely recognizing the hollow-eyed stranger staring back. This wasn't me. This wasn't the life I wanted. Something inside me snapped. I was done. Done with the lies, done with the pretense, done with being the golden boy. I needed to get out. 2 days later I found it, the smoking gun, tucked away in Bethany's yoga bag, which, let's be honest, she hasn't touched in months, was a credit card statement. Expensive dinners, weekend getaways to that damn Lakeside Inn, charges for jewelry, none of which I'd ever seen. My blood ran cold. The paranoia set in, hard. I started obsessively checking her phone, her emails, her social media. Every notification, every like, every comment felt like a punch to the gut. I knew it was wrong, I knew I was spiraling, but I couldn't stop. I'm ashamed to admit it, Reddit, but I even started questioning myself. Was I not good enough, not attractive enough, not man enough? What the hell was I doing wrong? My confidence, which was already shaky thanks to my parents' constant pressure, completely shattered. I've withdrawn from everyone. My friends, my colleagues, I can't face them. I feel like such a failure. The shame is crippling. I've started having panic attacks. My chest tightens, I can't breathe, the room starts spinning. I feel like my whole world is about to collapse. And then, this morning it got worse. Way worse. My Aunt Carol, Bethany's mother's sister, the queen of gossip, called me. Daniel, dear, she started, her voice dripping with fake concern. I'm so worried about Bethany. She's been acting so strange, distracted. Are you sure everything is all right? I wanted to scream. To tell her to mind her own damn business. But I just mumbled something about stress and work pressures. Oh, honey, she continued, her voice now laced with a smugness that made me want to vomit. I just want what's best for you both. You know, Bethany deserves to be happy. And sometimes, well, sometimes people just grow apart. Grow apart? She was cheating on me, lying to my face. And this viper was trying to make it sound like I was the problem. Aunt Carol, I said, trying to keep my voice steady, I appreciate your concern, but this is between Bethany and me. Oh, but Daniel, darling, she purred, family is everything, and we just want to make sure Bethany is making any rash decisions. Rash decisions, like marrying a lying, cheating, I couldn't even finish the thought. Aunt Carol, I said, my voice now shaking with anger, I have to go. I hung up, my hands trembling. This isn't just about Bethany anymore. This is about my entire family. They're circling like vultures, waiting for me to crumble. They're protecting her, not me. They're more concerned with maintaining the perfect family image than with the truth. And it's making me sick. I need to do something. I need to fight back. This isn't just about my marriage anymore. This is about my sanity, my life. I need to take control. I have to. So I finally broke down and talked to Sarah. Sarah's my childhood friend, razor sharp, doesn't take crap from anyone, and conveniently a divorce attorney. I haven't really talked to her much since I got married. Bethany never really liked her, said she was a bad influence. Probably because Sarah saw right through Bethany's BS from day one. Anyway, I called her, hesitant at first. Hey, Sarah, it's Danny. Long time no talk. Danny O'Connell, what's up? She sounded genuinely surprised. Can we meet? There's something I need to talk about. We met at this little coffee shop downtown. I was a nervous wreck, fidgeting, spilling my coffee, the whole 9 yards. It took me a while to get the words out. I started rambling about the overheard conversation, the spa weekend, the credit card statement. I even showed her the damn thing. I felt like such a pathetic mess. Sarah listened patiently, not interrupting, just nodding occasionally. When I finally finished, she just looked at me, her eyes wide with shock. Danny, holy crap, I had no idea. I know, right? It's insane. I feel like I'm losing my mind. No, Danny, she said firmly. You're not losing your mind. You're being systematically manipulated and gaslighted. This is textbook infidelity behavior. Textbook? That word hit me like a ton of bricks. It wasn't just me. This wasn't just some crazy paranoia. This was real, a pattern, something that happened to other people. And Sarah, being a divorce attorney, had seen it all. She's lying to you, Danny, Sarah continued, her voice now hard. She's hiding things, and she's making you question your own sanity. That's not okay. Then she said something that completely changed my perspective. You need to protect yourself, Danny, legally, financially, emotionally. Protect myself. It had never even occurred to me. I'd been so focused on maintaining the perfect family facade, so terrified of what my parents would think, that I hadn't even considered my own well-being. Sarah spent the next hour explaining my options, laying out a plan. She told me to start gathering evidence discreetly, to document everything. She gave me the names of therapists, financial advisors, even a private investigator. She basically handed me a lifeline. Danny, she said, looking me straight in the eye, you are not alone in this, and you don't have to go through it alone. I'm here for you. I almost cried. For the first time since this nightmare began, I felt a glimmer of hope. Someone believed me, someone saw the truth, someone was on my side, and it wasn't my parents trying to preserve their perfect little world. It was Sarah telling me to protect myself, to fight back. It was a turning point. I went from feeling like a victim to feeling empowered. Like I could actually take control of this situation. Like I could actually win. This isn't just about Bethany anymore. This is about me. About reclaiming my life. about finally being free, and I'm not going down without a fight. So, Bethany's at this conference, right? Supposedly some big pharmaceutical thing in Chicago. I'm at home, trying to focus on work, but my mind is racing. I'm still reeling from talking to Sarah, trying to process everything. I check my phone constantly, even though I know I shouldn't. I'm pathetic, I know. Then boom, a text message. From a number I don't recognize. My heart starts pounding, I open it, and there it is, a picture Bethany in Millennium Park kissing some guy, full on, open-mouthed, can't mistake it for anything else kissing. The timestamp on the photo, yesterday afternoon, right in the middle of her supposed conference. I stared at the photo, my blood running cold. The world tilted on its axis. This wasn't just whispers and suspicions anymore. This was proof. In my face. Unavoidable, undeniable, and the worst part, the guy, I recognized him, it was Mark. Mark from MY office. The guy Bethany always said was creepy and weird. The guy she warned me about, the audacity. My stomach churned. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. I stumbled back, dropping my phone onto the carpet. I had to grip the edge of the desk to steady myself. It was like something inside me snapped. All the doubt, all the guilt, all the second-guessing gone. Vaporized, replaced by a white-hot rage. This wasn't just betrayal. This was a betrayal of epic proportions. She wasn't just cheating. She was mocking me, flaunting it, rubbing my nose in it, with Mark, from MY office in Millennium Park. Seriously. Couldn't she have at least been a little more discreet? I felt a strange calm descend over me, a cold, hard clarity. It was like a switch had flipped in my brain. The Danny who was desperate to save his marriage, the Danny who was paralyzed by fear and self-doubt, he was gone. Replaced by a new Danny, a Danny who was done. A Danny who was ready to fight. I picked up my phone, my hand steady. I looked at the picture again. Bethany's face, contorted in a grimace of, what, passion, lust, disgust, I couldn't tell, but Mark's face, he was smirking, like he'd won some kind of prize, and that's when I knew. This wasn't just about Bethany. This was about taking back my life. About showing them both that I wasn't going to be their victim, that I wasn't going to roll over and play dead. I took a deep breath, my heart still pounding, but my mind now focused. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to call Sarah. And I needed to start planning my escape. All right, Reddit, here's how I prepped for the nuclear option. This wasn't some emotional breakdown, this was a strategic takedown. Evidence gathering locked and loaded. Credit card statements. I had those bad boys printed and highlighted. Every dinner, every hotel stay, every suspicious charge all marked up like a goddamn crime scene. The photo, the Millennium Park masterpiece. Printed, enlarged, and framed. Just kidding, not framed, but definitely saved in multiple secure locations. Cloud storage, baby, phone records. I wasn't going full-on stalker, but I did screenshot some suggestive text messages. Just enough to prove a pattern of deceit. Delete nothing, everything is evidence. Emails. I had access to our joint account, rookie mistake, I know, fixing that ASAP, and let's just say there were some interesting emails between Bethany and Mark from accounting. Password SAVED. Screenshots taken. Strategy PLAYING chess, not checkers. Sarah, my MVP. She was my general in this war. We mapped out everything. Legal strategy, financial planning, even how to handle the inevitable emotional fallout. Having a divorce attorney on your side is like having a legal ninja. The element of surprise. Bethany thinks she's got me fooled. Thinks she's the smart one. She has no idea what's coming. The look on her face will be priceless. Calm and collected. No yelling, no screaming, no begging. Just cold, hard facts. I'm going to present my case like a damn prosecutor. Logic over emotion. This is key. Exit strategy, new apartment, check, separate bank account, check, I'm not walking away with nothing. I'm taking what's rightfully mine and starting over. New life, who dis? Support system MY a team. Sarah again, she's not just my lawyer, she's my friend. She's been my rock through all of this. Friends who slay together, stay together. Therapist, yeah, I'm talking to a shrink. Not because I'm crazy, but because this shit is stressful. Mental health is important, people. A few trusted friends. I've confided in a small circle of people who have been incredibly supportive. They've listened, they've validated my feelings, they've brought me beer. True friends are everything. Mental and emotional prep, getting my head right, acceptance, this is happening. My marriage is over, it sucks but it's reality. Acceptance is the first step. Focus on the future, I'm not dwelling on the past. I'm looking forward to a life free from lies and deceit. A life where I can finally be myself. The future is bright. Self-care, I'm actually sleeping again. eating real food, going for walks. Taking care of myself physically and emotionally, because I deserve it. Visualization, I've played the confrontation out in my head 1,000 times. Visualized every scenario, every possible reaction. I'm ready for anything. So that's my plan, Reddit. Wish me luck. This is it. The final showdown. I'm going to walk into that restaurant on our anniversary, lay down the law, and walk away a free man. Time to burn it all down. Okay, Reddit, I did it. I actually freaking did it. Last night, on what would have been our 10th anniversary, I executed the plan. The setting, Casa Bella, our favorite Italian place. Bethany loves this place. Always orders the same damn thing, lobster ravioli. Ironic, considering how much she's been shelling out at the Lakeside Inn. Present Bethany looking smug and self-satisfied in a new dress, probably bought with MY money, and yours truly, dressed to the nines but feeling like a goddamn Terminator underneath. The meal, it was agonizing. She chattered on about her conference, how inspiring it was, how she learned so much. I just nodded, pushing the tasteless pasta around my plate. The anticipation was killing me. The bomb drop, dessert arrived. Tiramisu. Our special occasion dessert. I took a deep breath and said, Bethany, there's something we need to discuss. Her smile faltered. What is it, Danny? You've been acting weird all night. Weird? I chuckled, pulling the divorce papers and the neatly organized file of evidence from my briefcase. I think weird is taking your affair partner to our honeymoon spot while telling your husband you're at a conference. Her face went white. She stared at the papers, then at the file, then back at me. Her jaw dropped. What is this? She stammered. It's over, Bethany, I said, my voice calm and steady. I know about Mark, I know about the Lakeside Inn, I know about everything. The denial, you're crazy, she hissed. This is some kind of sick joke. There's no Mark, I was at the conference. The evidence, I slid the enlarged photo of her and Mark in Millennium Park across the table. This says otherwise. Care to explain why you're kissing my coworker in Chicago when you were supposed to be in a meeting? Then I laid out the credit card statements, the emails, the texts, the whole damn enchilada. I have everything, Bethany. Dates, times, locations. Even the room number at the Lakeside Inn. The breakdown, the color drained from her face. She started to tremble, her carefully constructed facade crumbled. She went from denial to anger to tears in about 30 seconds. It's not what it looks like, she sobbed. He seduced me, I didn't want this, you pushed me away. The turning point, that's when I knew I had won. She was grasping at straws, trying to shift the blame, but I wasn't buying it. No, Bethany, I said, my voice rising slightly. You made the choice to betray me. You made the choice to lie, and now you have to face the consequences. The power shift, it was palpable. The fear in her eyes, the desperation in her voice, she knew she'd been caught. She knew it was over. And for the first time in our marriage, I felt like I was in control. I pushed the divorce papers towards her. Sign these, I said, my voice now hard. It's over. The aftermath, it was messy. There were threats, accusations, tears. She tried to play the victim, to smear my name, to make me feel guilty. But I was prepared. I had my evidence, my lawyer, and most importantly, my self-respect. I left the restaurant, leaving her sobbing at the table, surrounded by the remnants of our anniversary dinner. I didn't look back. I'm not going to lie, Reddit, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The divorce is still pending, and I know there are more battles ahead. But last night was a victory. I finally stood up for myself. I finally took back my life. And it felt amazing. I'm free, finally free, and I'm never going back. Update, life after the bomb dropped. Hey Reddit, it's Danny again. Remember me? The guy whose seemingly perfect life imploded thanks to a cheating wife and a conference in Chicago. Yeah, well, it's been about 6 months since D-Day, divorce day, obviously, and I figured it was time for an update. The fallout, aka the SHT storm. Immediately after the restaurant showdown, Bethany went full nuclear. She called my friends, my family, even my boss, trying to paint me as the bad guy. She claimed I was unstable, controlling, and obsessed with her. She even tried to say I was having an affair. The projection was real. Luckily, I had prepared for this. I'd already told my closest friends and family the truth, and I had Sarah, my legal ninja, on standby to shut down any legal shenanigans. It was messy, but her attempts to smear my name ultimately backfired. Most people saw right through her BS. The resolution, aka the Great Divide. The divorce was finalized a few months ago. It was a long, drawn-out process, but I stuck to my guns. Bethany tried to fight me on everything, the house, the car, even our damn Netflix account. But I had Sarah, and Sarah is a beast. We reached a settlement that was fair, and I walked away with enough to start fresh. I'm not rich, but I'm not destitute either. And most importantly, I'm free. Mixed outcomes, aka the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. I'm in a much better place mentally and emotionally. I'm seeing a therapist regularly, and it's been incredibly helpful. I'm learning to love myself again, to trust my instincts, and to build healthier relationships. I've reconnected with old friends, picked up some new hobbies, rock climbing, anyone, and I'm even considering a career change. I'm finally living for myself. The bad, my relationship with Bethany's family is strained to say the least. They still blame me for the divorce, which is infuriating. I've had to distance myself from them, which is sad but necessary for my own sanity. Family isn't always everything, it turns out. The ugly, Mark, the other man, is still working at my company. It's awkward to say the least. We avoid each other like the plague. I'm considering changing jobs, but I'm not going to let him run me out of my career. He can suck it. Who stood by me and who didn't? Sarah, my MVP, my rock, my legal ninja. I owe her everything. True friendship is priceless. A few close friends, they listened, they supported me, they brought me beer and pizza. I couldn't have gotten through this without them. My therapist, she helped me process the trauma, rebuild my self-esteem, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Therapy is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Bethany's family, yeah, not so much. They basically disown me. It hurts, but I can't control their reactions. I can only control my own. How I've changed and what I've learned, I'm stronger than I ever thought possible. I went through hell and back and I came out on the other side. I'm worthy of love and respect. I don't need to settle for less than I deserve. I'm not responsible for other people's choices. Bethany made her bed and now she has to lie in it. I'm finally free to be myself. I'm no longer living for my parents, for Bethany, or for anyone else. I'm living for me, and it feels damn good. So that's my story, Reddit. It's been a wild ride, but I'm finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not perfect, but I'm real, and that's enough. What about you, Reddit? Any similar experiences? Any advice for someone navigating the treacherous waters of divorce and betrayal? I'd love to hear your thoughts.